All right.
Yeah. We have Ahmed Al-Afandi. He's an IH Cairo teacher. Ahmed, can you turn on your mic and introduce yourself?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Yes, I'm Ahmed Al-Afandi. I am here at the academy right now.
Good for you.
Yes. It is really nice to join this session. I hope that it provides me with so many insights about how to teach online, because to me, I think that teaching online is a challenge when compared to face-to-face classes. You know, so many activities we can think of like in face-to-face classes, but in online classes, we have to wonder how to do them. Like, how can we reach this efficient tasks? How can we do them online?
Okay, so that's really actually. So this is actually what I was planning to do, because yeah, that's really helpful. That you mentioned that. I was in more. I have actually before we start, I can see so that we're teaching online, guys. Which platform do you use? Do you use Zoom? Okay, all right. Zoom mostly, right? Okay, all right. Very good. Yeah. Those who are teaching, so like if you're teaching online, our Blackboard, yes. Okay, so this is that's a specific one, right? Okay, right. MS Teams, yes. Zoom. Class Dojo.
Yes, Dojo.
Yeah.
Class Dojo. Yeah.
Class Dojo. No.
Yeah.
I've never seen.
I've come across it. I think it's for more for young learners. Am I right, Ramona? Am I saying the name right? Ramona.
Yeah, it's Ramona.
Yeah. I think it's more for young learners. Yeah.
I've never seen. I've never used it
as far as I can tell. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you can start. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. So let's do it then. So if you, or like most of you are using Zoom or similar platforms, they probably have similar features, right? So let's talk then about teaching online, and we'll start with interaction in online classes, and pretty much how to increase interaction in online classes. Okay. Before we start, could you guys let's think about like interaction when you think about offline classes, the classes that you teach. When you say my classes are very interactive, or my class, what makes your classes interactive? So could you please type in the chat box? Okay. So what makes your classes interactive? Right. We have group pair work, discussions, games, interactive games. Anything else? Yes. Okay. Games, activities, attractive lesson topics. Discussions. All right. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, so pretty much yes. I think we are in line because like with what some of my colleagues think. Because when I'm getting ready for this presentation, I asked the same questions to some of my colleagues, and they came up with a whole list of things that they miss about offline teaching. So they say we miss communication with students, variety of interaction patterns, competitions, games, races, physical activities. This is actually what they say, actually physical activities, yes, when the students can walk around the classroom, project work, mingling activities, and collaborative writing. So this is something that we think that we don't have in online classrooms, but actually, let's see what we can do about it. Okay, so thank you for letting people in. Right. Now, usually your classroom, your online classroom, just hold on a second. People keep coming and I cannot multitask. All right. So usually your offline classroom would look like this, with a lot of people in it, like with people like talking to each other, passing things to each other, right? We can tell a lot from their body language. We can tell a lot from their gestures, whether they're happy or unhappy or what they're doing, right? And yes, your online classroom would most likely look like this. If you're happy enough to have videos, that the students have videos and you have the videos on, but you still can see only their head, right? And it's very, very important, just like to make sure that you have good, like how you prepare for the lesson. So whether it's online or whether it's offline, we still start with preparation, right? So, but when we start preparing for example, when we start preparation for the offline, online classes, yeah. So we think about materials, first thing. We think about handouts. And I think handouts is actually the most challenging thing when you teach online, because when you teach online, it's like in an offline classes, you just like photocopy the sessions, photocopy the handouts, and hand them out for the students, right? In online classes, there's so many options how you can hand the handouts. So you can upload them to Dropbox or Google Drive, whatever you want. You can send them to choose how to do it. And it's your responsibility as a teacher to agree with the students on that. So that's why it's important to have some sort of rules. And something is not working here. And this is what I was going to talk about. This is, stop sharing. Okay. All right. So in online classes, guys, you need to think of plan B as well, because some things just do not work. Like what happened now. My screen froze and I cannot move anywhere. So, but let me double check what I can do. Rules for your class, you see? So continuous clicking will bring you to the rules for your class. And that's why it's important to have plan B, right? So let's start with what we can do with what you can do. Okay, resume sharing. What you can do at the beginning of the lesson, right? So all these things, so you prepare. So sometimes the situation is that like you prepare all the materials, you figure out what to do with the handouts. All your students say, yes, we received the handouts, fine, we downloaded them so we can use them in your class. Then you come to class and start your lesson. And when you walk in the classroom, you see this. This is exactly what happened today, right? Exactly what happened today. So, and there are different reasons why people don't turn on their cameras or turn on their mics. They can be internet problems. People may think that, or the students may think that, like, we don't look nice enough. They are afraid of using cameras. Don't feel comfortable talking to, like, with the cameras on and stuff like that. So millions of reasons. And what you need to have something like, this. When you have people with their cameras on, when they share their pets, they use their gestures, they're smiling. And even if you could see it from this picture, so even when they're in cameras on, when you see their faces, we have enough difficulties to deal with online teaching, like, apart from this. And it can lead to results like this. This is what we want. We want them to be happy. We want them to use Realia. We want them to to walk out of the classroom saying, okay, so this was a great classroom. Like, I want to learn more about, like, English, and I want to come more to this class. Okay, so let's talk about starting a lesson. If you think about your offline classroom, and I now ask you to use the chat box for this as well. So if you think about the starting a lesson, offline classroom, you are in the classroom early. What do you do? And there are a couple of students. What do you usually do? Please use the chat box to write the answers. Catch up with them, just talk. Yes, chat. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, so this is a normal practice. Yes, this is a usual reaction. It's a human reaction to talk to your students. You chat with them. Like, sometimes, like, you give them handouts. They may say, okay, can we review some other words from the previous lessons? Yes. Why not doing the same thing when you start an online class, right? Chat with them. So, like, on different topics. However, in an online classroom, there are situations where you need to you need to check whether all the things are working, whether you have all the materials that you need. So, like, you just remind yourself which button to click on and what to do. So in this case, again, if you're human, yes, let them know that you need their help. For example, you say, okay, so could you please help me? Like, can you hear it? Can you see my handout? Brilliant. If you still need to figure out it by yourself, so give them a task. Use some sort of interaction. Or interaction or interactive handouts, and I'll tell you a bit later how to make them at the end of the class, so that they can work on their own. It will help to develop their autonomy first. Plus, they can understand that you're human. You also need to do some stuff. This is it. Okay, right. Now, we have sometimes I let them WhatsApp with me. Yes. Right. Yes, exactly. So, Marwa, sometimes it does help if you introduce your worries, but it's, again, if you're human, chat with the students. You're not a robot, and they do have you have a lot of problems working online, and they are as worried as you are, in online classes, because they don't know how to deal with it. Okay, right. If we think about, so that was the first point, so starting a lesson, right? And this will be communication with the students. If we speak about interaction patterns, so there are lots of interaction patterns, right? The students can do some tasks individually, they can work in groups, in pairs, and there's also teacher-student interaction. So far, in this classroom, and we have 25 people here. Brilliant. Okay, So in this classroom, what kind of interaction did we have? Students, yes. No students. Okay, now let's do it this way, guys. So I was planning it to like as a workshop. So you have to participate, whether you wanted to not. With your camera on or off, but you have to speak. Okay. Now let's do it this way. I'll give you 20 seconds to write 3 questions that you would like to ask your partners in this particular group. Okay, how many questions? 3. Questions can be on any topic. Can be on teaching, can be on hobbies, can be on anything else. Okay, so 30 seconds, take your time. Let me know in the chat box when you're ready. Okay. Okay, Mazen, so you joined us a bit later. So we're writing 3 questions that you would like to ask the rest of the group on any topic, okay? So to find out a bit more about people you're working with. Okay, when you finish with your questions, let me know.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now? I'm so sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, that's brilliant. Yeah, brilliant.
Okay. Set questions for the others to know, just to know them more.
You write down the questions, just and that's all. I'll put you later on. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Don't type the questions in the box. Just write them on a piece of paper. Don't show them to anyone yet. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, in the breakout rooms, I'll put you in several breakout rooms. In the breakout rooms, when you see your partner, ask them these questions and try to remember the answers. Okay, take notes. All right. I will move some of you from one room to another, so don't be surprised. Once you've seen other people, ask them the same questions. Right. So how many questions do you ask all now? 3, 4, 5?
3.
Thank you, Mazen. You're a star. You're the only one with the camera on. That's brilliant. Okay, so thank you very much. Okay, Heidi, so yeah. Okay, so 3 questions. Don't be surprised to see other people. Find out the answers. Take notes. Okay, Heidi, you joined us a bit later. Okay, so we're like asking each other questions about teaching, hobbies, interests to find out more about your partners. All right. So let me see what options we have. Okay, off you go. Please accept the invitation. All right. Okay, Suleiman, Iman, Isra, Marina, could you please accept the invitation and go to the room? Marwa? Okay. Ramona, could you please join the room? Muhammad? Suleiman, are you here? Sarah? Okay, guys, if you, let's do it this way. Those who are here, could you please use the main room to ask each other questions, all right? Okay. All right, guys. Sarah?
Sarah, I used his own. Yes, hello? Yes, hello.
Yes. We're morning. We're 8 people.
Okay, so the 8 people, 8 teachers, brilliant. 8 teachers, then could you please, yeah, I assigned you to one room. Could you please go to accept the link? Sarah, could you please accept the link and go to that room, okay?
Okay.
And you find out information about other teachers in this room.
Where's it? Where's it?
Can you see the invitation?
Miss Olga?
Yes?
No. In the chat box or where, Miss Olga?
No. It should be on your screen if it's not there. So
No.
just wait here. So
Okay.
maybe somebody.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe somebody
Could
will
you
join
just
you.
send it back?
Yeah, if I cannot send it at the moment for some reason, but if Arshia, Isra, and Mohammed, are you guys here? Suleiman, are you here? I can see people here, but I can not check if they're here or not. Okay. All right.
Where? Here? Okay.
Which school do you
Okay, Olga, I think they can stay in the main room, but mute their mics and then remute.
That's not the point, Abir. So that's not the point. Just hold on, because they cannot speak to anybody else because some other people are not here.
Okay, yeah.
I want them to speak to other people.
Okay.
Okay.
Muhammad and Arshia is here.
Okay, let's come into school. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's try.
I think we're all back now. So we probably lost a couple of people on the way. I closed all the room though. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So Priscilla, who did you speak to? Priscilla, could you
Yeah. Hi.
Yes.
I began speaking to somebody. I forgot the name because of it's new. I forgot the name. So there was a guy. I would just put a question to him, and somehow we lost the connection. So my question was, yeah, how do you make your? Oh no, sorry. Yeah. How do I summarize my lessons in a class? I gave the answer, and after that there was a problem.
Okay. All right. Okay. And what about you, Iman? Who did you speak to?
Okay, hello.
Hello.
I spoke to Mayar, and I asked her about her hobbies, and she said reading and listening to music and watching TV. And she asked me about the platform that I've tried and I found it's like good and interesting. And I told her that it's Google Classroom. And that's it. We don't have time for much more.
Okay, thank you very much. I think
you're most welcome.
Yeah, I think Marwa had a question, so somebody raised hands, right? Marwa?
It wasn't a question. Thank you, Olga. It wasn't a question. I'm just sharing more ideas with you.
Okay,
so I
right.
talked to Mayar and I talked to Mazen. Mayar and we talked about the paper platform. And I talked to Mazen about, he asked me about what is the best way for me to summarize my lessons at the end of each class.
Okay, all right. And what is the best way to summarize your lesson?
For me, I do not do a summary. It's different. It depends on the certain skill I'm teaching. So, for example, for writing, I do a content feedback at the end of the class after students share their writing and they gave each other peer review. For grammar, maybe I'm going to send students, or usually what I do is that I send students a link in order to make sure that they answer 2 to 3 questions, which I call the exit ticket. It tells me how much have they understood from the lesson. So it depends actually on the nature of the class.
All right. Okay. So guys, if you think of this activity that you did, so you had a chance to talk to each other. How did you work? Like, what was the interaction pattern?
Yeah, well, it's the kind of like pair work and group work.
Yeah, pair work and group work.
And that's kind of like exchange and, questions and answers and information and giving each other, opinions and feedback. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, but when I moved you around, so did you move around the rooms at some point?
Sure. Yes, sure.
Yes, yes. In this case, what pattern did it look like?
Jigsaw.
Or mingling, right?
Yes.
We can talk about mingling activities. Yes, something like that. Yes. So, like, you still can do it online as well. So you can do it online, but of course, with it can get a bit messy because we have like different internet speed, different internet connection. It's manageable when you have smaller classes, but still, it is possible, right? Have you ever tried? So you did use the breakout rooms in Zoom, probably, right? Not if you do. Oh, not if you did.
No.
Yes. No. Okay. So
I tried it at a course, adults course, but I didn't try it with my students. I teach middle school, so it's hard to make the breakout rooms with them.
Yeah. Well, if you have a big class, it is hard. But if you have smaller classes, I found out that they actually speak more willingly. Even adults, they start speaking, they start communicating. If they use if you put them in the breakout rooms, yes. And in this case, you can monitor them with their screen off, with the video off, so that they're not, the flow of interaction is not interrupted. Okay. Another thing that you can do with breakout rooms, and if, for example, you make half of the group co-hosts, and you create 3 groups, for example, and then co-hosts can move by themselves, like like from one room to another. And in this case, it is managed by the students, not by the teacher, right? Do you want to try it? Yeah, let's try it. Not like I've never done, like, okay, so I've done it with smaller groups, but let's see what we can do. Okay, I'll put you into 3 groups. All right, so let's do this way. First, I need to make somebody co-host. So we'll have Heidi, you will be a co-host. So whenever you see the invitation, you need to move to the room, and only after that you can see the sign breakout rooms at the bottom. And if you click on it, you can see all the rooms and you can go from one room to another.
Okay.
So that will be Heidi. That will be sorry. Esther was not there. So Mazen. Okay, Mazen will be a host. And Priscilla, you'll try to be a co-host as well, okay? Who else? Maya, maybe. Okay, make co-hosts and Marwa. All right, guys. Are you okay? So can you see that, like, who are your co-hosts? Who's a co-host? Yeah? All right. 3 rooms. I'll invite you to 3 rooms. I want you to move from one room to another, asking the same questions to your new partners, okay? Try to remember information. I'll give you 1 minute to speak to as many people as possible.
Okay.
Okay, and then I close the rooms and they can tell me what happened. Okay. Off you go. Marina, do you have the invitation? Could you please join Breakout Room 2? Arshia. Isra.
You teach English for which grade?
Lower secondary.
Lower
so year 7 and 8.
So you're teaching the same age group which I teach. And which is your favorite?
Yes. I think each one has a different challenge, but I think I enjoy 8 a lot more. What about you?
I enjoy 7 more.
Really? Why?
Yes, 8. It's really a silly age to teach.
Really? Then what, sillier than 7? Because when it comes to year 7, I feel like there's a huge gap between year 6 and year 7.
At my school, no.
Oh, really?
We have the gap between 7 and 8, not 6 and 7.
Oh, that's new. That's brand new. Yeah, because they, like, generally like the switch from grade 6, like this primary stage, to the middle stage is like, everyone is like,
the stacks are higher.
Yeah, prepared for, yeah, it's not easy to bridge the gap, but it's like, very new for us to hear that from 7 to 8 there is a gap. Why is that? Why do you think that?
Maybe there's change 6th grade at the 2nd term, and feels a change at grade 7 until the 2nd term. So it's transitional. But once they are at grade 8, it's very hard.
Yeah, they're reaching their peak, yeah?
Yes.
OMG, okay.
It was the opposite for me. For year 8, they wise up somehow. They understand that this is checkpoint and that they've been working and they've been preparing so hard for this. So actually, they maybe after the checkpoint they go nuts, but before that, no.
Maybe because I teach now at the national department.
Okay.
So our checkpoint.
All right. Hello, Kimmy. Sorry?
I could just move to one.
I didn't move between groups.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
I moved to
well,
one.
but if you're a co-host, guys, you are able to do that. So you can do that. Right. So you just like click on the breakout room, move around, and in this case, like if you have a specific task, you can do a mingling activity, which is actually administered not by the teacher, but which is administered by the students. Can be helpful. Okay. Right. I can see a lot of people in the breakout rooms. For some reason, they should be closed, but they're not. I mean,
I'm not able to move for some reason.
Okay, right. So that happens. Right now, if we're talking about yes, I'll do just a little. Okay. If we're talking about offline teaching and the things that you mentioned at the very beginning of the lesson, like very beginning of the session, guys, which things did we mention here? Communication with students? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Interaction patterns?
Yes.
Yes. So we can do group they administered in a correct way. Okay, so let's have a look at more things. So games, races, physical activities, stuff like that, right?
Yes.
Okay. One of my favorite things to do in class is running dictation. Have you ever done it? Yes, no?
I didn't.
No? Okay, so running dictation is the activity when you have a text and you stick the text on the board, for example, and you have a pair of students and one person is a runner, so he needs to run to the board, read the sentence, then run back to the writer and dictate the sentence back to him. The thing is that like they keep forgetting things and they need to run back, read it again, and run and dictate. Let's try. Let's see. It's physical. It helps the students to it increases their motivation. It increases their activity in class, and it's quite engaging. So let's think what we can do in terms of online teaching and how we can do it in class. All right, I need to have two writers. Who would like to be a writer? Okay, Mazin, you're a writer, and who else? We'll have two groups. Okay, so let's say, okay, Iman. Okay, so let's do it this way. For you, so I'll put Mazin and Iman in the waiting room for 10 or 20 seconds, okay? For you. Meanwhile, prepare your piece of paper and a pen. Okay.
Ready.
Okay. Where is Mazin? Mazin. Waiting room. And who else? Sorry, Ezra, right? Ezra. Now, stand up and put your phones at the back of the room.
Okay.
Yeah, physically, you need to stand up. Muslim, you don't need to do that. Ezra, because you're writers. You just sit down. You don't know the text, right? Okay. Done. Do you all have your phones at the back of the rooms? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Now, in two breakout rooms, with one room that will have Mazal, in another room we have Ezra. You guys need to dictate the text to your writer, but you cannot read it from your phone like this. You need to stand up, go back to the room, read one line, go back to Mazal and dictate it. Okay? And then the next person, and then the next person.
Okay.
All right. So let's have a look at the.
Okay, so.
Yes. Just hold on a second. I'll put you in two breakout rooms. In two rooms. One person, so one room will dictate the whole text to Mazan. Another person will dictate the whole text to Esra. Okay? Esra, are you with us?
Oh.
Esra needs to be some time. Okay. So, okay. Off you go. Open the Marina, could I ask you to be the writer for the second room? When you join the room. Oh no, Marina cannot do it. Okay. Okay, guys, because some people disappeared, so we'll do it in the main room, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so Mai, you'll be the first one. Run, read, and dictate it to Mazan. The first sentence.
Okay.
Oh.
Romeo and Juliet are dead.
Maya, could you say it again?
Okay.
Yes, please dictate the first line to Mazan.
I already wrote, just go.
Oh, okay, so then the second line. Who goes first? The second one.
They are lying on the floor. They are lying on the floor in a bedroom.
Okay, brilliant. The third person.
The floor is
very wet.
Okay. All right.
Come again, Heidi. Say it again.
The floor is very wet. Romeo and Juliet are surrounded by lots of pieces of broken glass.
Heidi, you cannot read from your phone. You have to run, remember, and dictate. Remember?
Okay.
I can tell. Okay.
If Heidi, keep the phone away and go grab the sentence and come back here to dictate it to me, all right? This is how the game works.
Okay.
Okay.
Priscilla, sentence number next one.
So the last word I have is surrounded. Romeo and Juliet are surrounded. By what?
By lots of
By
lots of pieces. Lots of pieces.
All right. Yes.
Of broken glass.
Yes.
Mia, are you dictating or are you just memorizing the things? Are you running? Priscilla, you have to run. Okay.
Okay. Okay. I have to read from my. Okay. There's a shelf above there.
Yes, yes. I'm writing on my computer, so I'm doing this very, very fast. So make it faster, all right? Just give me a hard time.
Okay.
Priscilla, can you say it again, please?
Yeah, I have to. Yeah. There's a shelf above them.
There's a shelf above them?
Yeah.
All right, next.
There's no one in the house.
All right, next.
All the doors and windows are locked.
Next.
And there's no sign of break-in.
Breakage.
Break-in.
All right, I got it.
Thank you, Omar. Okay, let's stop with this point. So you got the idea. It's very difficult to do it when you cannot see if people are running or not. You see, so that's why video on is crucial when you teach adults and when you teach kids. Yes. So, but you got the idea. It's not as easy. After that, you can see, like you can show this. You can show the text and compare what you have. And after that, you can talk about this text, of course. Yes. Can you explain what happened and stuff like that? Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's review. So what we can do with Zoom features, guys. So we have breakout rooms, we have chat box, we have whiteboard, we have annotation, we have a waiting room, right? To wrap it up, breakout rooms can be used for mingling activities, pair work, group work. Chat box and whiteboard, they can use for feedback, brainstorming activities, error correction. You can both use chat box, whiteboard, or annotation for that, right? The chat box also, like you can ask the students after they've done the activity, you can ask them, okay, type your answers, but don't send them yet. And then you say, okay, now you can send them. And in this case, like you have all the answers sent in like at the same time, right? Waiting rooms. Waiting rooms are good for doing something like guessing games. So I put today like Mazen in the waiting room, right?
Yes.
And in this case, yeah. So and you could not hear what was going on here in the main room.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have some sort of a guessing activity, yeah, so you can put one student outside in the waiting room and then let him in, and then they can play a game. For example, if you have a game like guess the question, right? When, for example, you put the students in the waiting room and you all agree on one question. These are the answers to this question. What do you think is the question?
What do you think of how do you like the winter? I believe.
Ah, okay. Do you like winter? So that's the question, right?
Winter?
Because yeah. And the answer can be no, I hate it. Yes, it's my favorite season. No, it's very cold. No, I prefer hot weather. Yes, especially December. Do you like winter? Yes, especially December. So the answers can vary depending on the person, right? So you agree on the question all together in the main room, and then the person who is in the waiting room comes in and nominate the students. For example, they may say, okay, Mazen, and Mazen say, no, I hate it. You can only answer the questions. Yeah, you don't say the question itself. And the student needs to guess the question. And then he asks, okay, Mai, what is it? Yes, it's my favorite season. Then the third person can say, no, it's very cold. So like the person in the waiting room can see, oh, okay, so this might be the question. So you can do that. All right. Right. To supplement yours, like this Zoom, because we have a lot of options here, guys. So you have breakout rooms, chat box, whiteboard, annotation, waiting room. You can use them like during your lesson and make it interactive. But to supplement it, you can always do Jambox, Genially, and WordWall. Okay. As we are running a bit out of time, I just wanted to show you like what you can do with it. If you're not familiar with it, that's fine. If you're familiar, so you can do it in a different way. Let's do it this way first. So this is the Jambox that I use for one of the courses. Yeah, can you see it? Yeah, can you see it, guys? Teaching in different contexts. Yes, no? So pretty much you have different. Yeah. Are you with me? Can you like?
Yeah.
Did I share this? Yeah. Okay. So you have different options here, and what the students did, they typed their questions and put it next to the topic. Yeah. So we can use this. There's a very good activity that you can use offline, for example, which is called which is called like grab the card. I call it grab the card, where you have two lines of students, like here, 1, 2, 3, 4, two groups of students, and then number one need to, like, you give a definition, and number one need to grab the card. Yeah. For example, you can do it online because this is an interactive board which like students can use at the same time. For example, if I ask, if I send you the link on in the chat box, you can all see it. All right, so you can just hold on a second to everyone. So you can all see this link, right? And if you click on it, so this is what you can see. Could you please let me know if you're there? Oh, I can see, yes. 1, 2, like 2 people are there. Okay, so we have 4, I think. Yes, we have 4. Brilliant. Okay, so let's do this. Yes, don't move 1 and 3. Okay, those who like. Okay, let's put it this way. Number 1 will be Priscilla. Are you there? Who is number 3, guys? Just please let me know who is number 3. Okay. 3 goes after 2, and 1 comes first. Okay. 4 and 5. Okay. Number 1, green. So okay. So let's do it this way. Whoever is taking like number 1, blue. So this person. And number 2, like, and now, like, there should be number 1. Please, somebody take number 1. Mai, Farouk, are you there? Okay, brilliant. Okay. Okay. Now, number 1 and number 1, you go first. 2, 3, 4, 5, don't do anything. I give a definition. You need to grab the card from here and move it next to your place. Okay? Either here or here. So the first person who moves the card is the winner. Okay? Ready? Definition is, it's listening and reading. Grab the card and put it next to your side. Listening and reading are?
Should I answer?
No, you need to grab it and put it next to you. It's not speaking, writing, it's listening and reading. Put it on the right, here, if you're green, yeah? Okay. Does it make sense? Okay. line. So usually when you have a class, you put down, like, you don't put number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You write down the names, for example. So Heidi, Mai, Sarah, or Iman, so that you know like who's going first, second, third. Okay. So, but you can do a lot of matching activity with this particular gem box. You can do board race with this particular gem box, and other things. Okay, so another thing that you can do, and I mentioned it at the very beginning. So this is you can create interactive handouts for your students, and these handouts. Interactive handouts, and these handouts can be created by on the site Genially. It's a brilliant website, and it's absolutely free. Here you go. So this is it. So this is the handout that you can create. So you can put like a picture of Cairo. Then here you can put some information, some facts about Cairo, add some text. Here you can find the picture and information about some landmarks, about some cafe or like or places of interest, and the students can read and answer the questions. Or you can I embedded video here as well. I'm not playing it here because it's it should open in a new tab, but this is all like this is you can do. So, and there are many more things that you can do. You can link to different activities. You can link to different websites. Students explore and work with it. If to bring some extra interaction to your lessons, for example, if you think it's not enough, or what you're doing is not enough, so we can do so we can do it like this. You can use a word wall. Word wall is a stop sharing. So word wall is a beautiful website that allows you, like it allows you to create your own materials and share it with your students, for example, like here, and it adds music. So, and this is like spin it, talk for a minute, something you want to buy or something like that. Yes, and you can use different activities with the students, and you can, for example, you have models of deductions like this. You have different templates. It's up to you which one to use. Yeah, and they can ask you questions like this, and they can take and this can bring some interaction in the class. Not only you can share it by yourself if you want on the screen, or you can give your students access to it, and they can do it by themselves in the breakout rooms. Okay, so they can play it at the same time. Another thing that you can do is flippity.net, where you can use different board games. Let me show you where it is. Okay. And the thing is that if you do this, you can move the pawns, and if you click on the, you can spin the, like roll the dice, and you have some questions. You create your own tasks. Okay, so for this, so for example, if you roll the dice, so 3, and there's the question, and then you can answer. You can create this by yourself, and the link for it is I'm sharing the links so that you all have them at the end of this webinar. Okay, yeah. So these are some of the things that you can add to your classroom. Yeah, take a picture of it if you want, or take a screenshot of it, or I'll send it. I'll send it to Abir, or I can send it in the chat box as well, so that you have them.
I'm adding all of them to the Padlet, so they can all have access as well, Olga. So if you can copy paste it, I'll put it there.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. The only thing that I wanted to add is like less is more. Remember, if you want to supplement your online teaching, so don't use more than one extra source, because it's like they do have enough work with other things that that's going on in the online classroom. Okay. Do you guys have any questions? I think this is all I wanted to say. If you have any questions, we can talk about it. Maybe you have other experience. Maybe you have other things that you would like to share about I don't know, like about teaching online. Yes.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, Priscilla.
I'm not sure whether it fits the context or not. But like I'm planning to do my CELTA. Are these going to be quite helpful during my teaching practice?
What is the question? Whether it will be?
Yeah, are these activities are going to be useful when I do my CELTA?
Yeah, why not? Yes, of course.
If you're doing your, if you're doing
CELTA
yourself
online,
online, yes.
Yes, it is online.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, Nasreen has a question, right? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Alma, for this very informative presentation. I really appreciate your effort, and I just I'd like to ask about the different applications that you have mentioned today, especially Jamboard. Is it a free application for having the students to interact?
Yeah,
totally free.
All free.
So
Totally free.
I might allow all my learners to go on and deal with it just by sending them the link. But
yes,
it's not through the presentation. Yeah,
it's an extension to Google.
Okay.
It's a Google extension. So if you have it, you just like use it.
Okay.
I went to these programs. All the programs have a basic plan, like a plan for the users who wouldn't like to pay, right? So you can go for the basic. If you would like to go for more, just if you're interested in paying money.
Yeah. But like even basic plan allows you to do a lot of things. Yeah. Yeah. Questions?
Not online. Are these games helpful if not
I'm sorry
online?
about this.
Olga?
My question is not related about teaching online. Okay. That's why I wrote. It's okay. So I'm not sure it's okay to ask it now.
Yes, please, you can. Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so do you have any type of procedures for setting out the group teaching offline? Like I have lots of suggestions online, like you have to make a group out of different characters and different level and so on, but like there's a procedure of setting work that you usually like go with.
You mean setting up the speaking activity, yes. Any activity?
Yes.
What do you do? Yes, yes, of course. So first of all, so like you need to think exactly what you want the students to do. What's the aim of the activity? Because there are loads of like speaking activities. They can be a role play. They can be like a discussion. So the aim of the activity. So think about this. That's the number one. The second, once you've done it, so like imagine this activity in your head. And if you imagine this activity in your head, you can see like who is speaking, how many people are involved, and that's from that you can see whether they're working in pairs, in groups, or individually. Who is starting the conversation? And based on on your imagination, based on your demands or requirements, what you, like the way you see the activity, you set the instructions. You give the instructions. Like work in pairs, ask each other questions, find out information. That's it.
I'm not sure if Amal is asking about how do we put students in groups. Is this your question, Amal, or how the class would work after? I mean, like how the activity would work after putting them in groups.
Well, it's actually about during, like
okay.
setting the steps, like dividing the
students
part of the group work itself. Like for example, you first you set the rules for each person or each individual in the group, then just start all at their processes or start all at their jobs, or do they like hand it to each other? What about if there's a student like feeling free, is not doing something because the other person is supposed to be working at that moment? How do you manage that? This kind of stuff.
So how do you manage speaking activities?
Yeah,
right? Is that the question? Okay.
So group activities that I have to work together cooperatively.
Okay. So like there, like as you said before, as you had said before, there are different ways of grouping the students, right? So sometimes you put like stronger students with weaker students and weaker students together. It depends on the, like you can it's trial and error. Sometimes this can work, sometimes it may not work. This is it. There is no recipe. So what works for me may not work for your students. You see, but like what I've noticed is if this is clear, if instructions are clear, if the students know exactly what they're doing, and if they have their purpose, so communicative purpose, the reason to do that, then in this case it will help. One more thing, if that they may not talk or they may not speak if they don't have enough language.
Yeah.
You know? So in this case, you also need to anticipate difficulties for that and just help with the language maybe. Yeah, but during the activity you monitor and you just work with it. Yes, with what
Thank you very
have.
much for your tips.
You're welcome. Right. Okay, guys. Any other questions?
So if I can share the screen, Olga, for until maybe we get more questions. So basically, I just wanted to talk about the IH certificates. I think Olga is also familiar with them. Have you worked on any of them, Olga, before?
I've had the certificates. I mean, what do you mean?
Have you tutored on any of these? So we do have different IH certificates, like the IH certificate of teaching English. And if you're teaching very young learners, so we do have the IH certificate of very young learners and young learners and teens, and also the IH certificate CAM, which is the advanced methodology. So if you're a language teacher and have already done your SALTA or thinking about doing a more specialized teacher training courses, IH offers these certificates. And what's interesting is you can just choose a certificate that fits your teaching context. So if you're teaching teens or young learners, you will have some good certificates here to work from. So if you're interested, you can send a message in the chat box, or I can send the email where you can get more information. And also, if you are a school teacher or work in a school and would like tailored teaching training courses, IH Cairo does this as well. So please feel free to email us. We do have the email at the bottom of the screen, info@ihcairo.com. So if you would like to ask more about certificates we offer, please email us and the teaching training team will get back to you. And you can also visit the website ihcairo.com to learn more about certificates that are being offered. So for
Tahir had a question. Tahir had a question about Delta Online. I'm not quite sure that you can do it with.
Yes, we do. Yes, IH Cairo does Delta Online. And which module are you looking for, Tahir?
Module 1.
Yes, we do module 1. It's going to be running in, I think, beginning of October. So if you send your request to info@ihcairo.com, you should be getting the application for it, and you should join the group that will be starting in October. Okay, let's see other questions. Okay, so I think I don't know the fees, but if you send an email to, let me type the email. So info@ihcairoeg.com. If you send an email to info@ihcairoeg.com and ask them for the fees, they will send you all the information you need Omar about module 1, Delta module 1, which is starting very soon. So there is a group, and they should be starting very soon. So you should know a lot of information about this. Okay, so I will, after we end this meeting, I'm going to contact Olga about the activities she did on Jamboard, and I'll just take the links she has shared with you, and I'll put it on the Padlet, which you already have. So if you want to use it for your students at any point, you can. I'm going to put again the link to the Padlet. Oh, we do have one question on the Padlet, Olga. It's a very general question, but let's see if we can quickly go over it. What's your favorite method of teaching grammar and vocabulary?
I'd say it depends on the level. It depends on the level. So it can be situational presentation. It can be test teach test. So with higher levels, I use either test teach test or guided discovery. For like low levels, I use situational presentation because it's faster.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't have the name of the person who wrote this question. So I hope if this person is still here in the participants, I hope this answers your question. I'm going to answer Mai. Do you offer only courses for English teachers? No, we do have tailored courses for teachers of other subjects, particularly math and science, if they are teaching in English. But we also have other tailored courses for those who need training in other subjects. So if you or your school would like to know more, if you can please email info@ihcairoeg.com. Any suggestions for how to teach writing for lower grades? Okay, if Olga doesn't have much to say on lower grades due to background experience, I can add a couple of links to the Padlet. So you can visit them later, but I don't know, Olga, if you want.
It's a separate session on teaching writing to low levels as well.
Yeah, we can add it to our calendar, and then maybe Olga or someone can actually go for it. But if you want to suggest something, Olga.
Well, start with it works with everything, one difficulty at a time. Don't overwhelm your students with a lot of information, and it goes to grammar, vocabulary, whatever you have, or even writing. For writing at lower levels, it's better to have a model, and for them to focus on this first.
Yeah.
So that's all. Yes.
Yeah, I can add. I mean, I can tell you about teaching writing to adults, right? And improve the Cambridge free website that can help students do extra writing outside class. But it's more for adults. But I can add to the Padlet a couple of websites to younger learners, since I'm doing some training to school teachers now, and we've been talking about writing for young learners. I don't have them now, but I promise
I'm sure they have in British Council website. So
yeah.
Writing for like British Council teens, like learning teens and kids. So they
have yeah. Mazen, you're asking about certificate for attendance. Is this your question? Mazen, you're asking, do you provide certificates for the online trainings? Is this yes? Okay.
He said yes.
Yes. Those who registered and attended will be getting a certificate of attendance to their email, sent to their email. Yes. Okay, so thank you very much, Olga, for your time and for the presentation, and thank you everyone for coming and attending. This session has been recorded and should be on IH Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So if you've missed any of the parts, please go back and watch the recorded version of the session. Thank you very much, everyone. And thank you, Olga.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.